Blog Talk Radio.
Are you ready to take a bite out of the competition? Are you looking for ideas to make your business better? Welcome to the Core Business Show with Tim Jacquet, sponsored by Apple Capital Group. At the core of every successful business, you'll find people making a difference. And with each episode of the Core Business Show, we talk with those people, examine those ideas, and explore the strategies that make them special. Now, the host of the Core Business Show, Tim Jacquet.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Core Business Show. I'm Tim Jacquet, your host. Today, we were supposed to have Diamond, who was supposed to come back on the show to talk about his product, the DDPYOGA. Fortunately, we couldn't reach him. I don't know. So anyway, what we're going to do instead, I'm going to talk about his product. I don't know a whole lot about it, and we're going to try one more time to try to get him on the program. But we did talk yesterday, and this was a good time for him. So I know he's a real busy guy. But anyway, we're going to cover for him. We're going to talk about his product as best as I can, best of my ability, and talk about Apple Capital Group. DDPYOGA, you can go to his website at DDPYOGA, YOGA, again, dog, Paul, yellow, Oscar, George, Apple.com. And he has a great program. It's mixing yoga and body stretching. Let's see. Let me play a commercial. I think this is him calling, so bear with me a second, and I'll be back in a moment.
You're listening to the Core Business Show, sponsored by Apple Capital Group. Apple Capital Group in Jacksonville, Florida, is a commercial lender that specializes in asset-based loans, equipment leasing and financing, invoice financing, commercial real estate loans, and asset-based financing in the U.S. and Canada. Apple Capital Group is a direct lender that lends on their private equity investment portfolio. 90% of most loans are decided within 2 hours, and vendor funding within 24 hours after documents are completed, with a one-page application. No slow no's, just a quick decision and a fast yes. To get more information about lending from Apple Capital Group, call 866-611-7457. That's 866-611-7457 to speak with one of our loan specialists. Or visit us right now at applecapitalgroup.com. Welcome back to the Core. Once again, here's Tim Jacquet.
Well, welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show again. I got Diamond on the line. Diamond, welcome to the program.
Good to be here. Sorry,
okay. No, that's all right. I was going to talk about your product. I was going through the website. I said, okay, we're going to talk about it. We're going to try to get you on again. But thank you for calling me and getting back on the show. So your name is Diamond Dallas Page. Tell us about yourself and how did you come about and having your own fitness program?
Well, for starters, I've been working out since I was a kid, and I've done just about every workout you could do. But when I became a professional wrestler, it was pretty much weights and cardio and your standard stuff. And only did I develop DDPYOGA. And you have to understand that first 42 years of my life, I'm a guy who wouldn't be caught dead doing yoga, mainly because that was where my brain was structured. And, but a lot of guys, they're like, yoga, I guess doing yoga. So I get that. And what happened with me, I didn't start wrestling until I was 35 years old.
Wow.
My career didn't take off until I was 40. So, that was 1996. 97 and 98, 99 were the most overtimes in professional wrestling history as far as dominating the cable ratings. And 98, I was just a rocket, and I ruptured my L4 and L5. Do you know where that is?
No. Kind of tell us what that is.
Yeah, the L4 and L5 are those bottom vertebrae that go into your tailbone. And they're like the center of the damn universe to everybody. And when you rupture this, it would be like taking a jelly donut and squishing the disc that lays between the vertebrae. And what happens to the fluid? Well, it comes into your nerve endings, and it is excruciatingly painful. So, long story short, 3 doctors said my career was over. I was 42. I just signed a multi-million-dollar deal, 3-year deal, and they're telling me I'm done. Now, I'm doing the rehab because I've always rehabbed back from everything. And my wife at the time, we were still married, and she's like, why don't you try doing yoga to heal your body? Like, yoga? I'm not doing yoga. But really, as it turned out, it's the only thing I could do. So, because of the zero impact of no yoga. So I started, doing it for a couple of weeks on the DVDs I was watching, and I was like, man, this stuff, I can't, there's no modifying person showing me how to, take it at a different level or make it a little bit easier. So I had to figure it out. In the first 3 weeks, I was really starting to feel better. My back was feeling a little stronger. I was getting a little more flexible. So I wasn't really crazy about still all the spiritual mumbo jumbo that goes with, yoga. And not that there's anything wrong with that. For people who are listening, if you like that, that's cool, but it just didn't work for me. So I took the moves, the amazing yoga position moves, and started mixing them with my rehab that I was doing. So I'm making up my own workout here. And eventually I added in old school calisthenics like push-ups, squats, crunches, because you really don't do any push-ups in yoga. You don't work your upper body that much. So my back was so blown out, I had to lower to my knees like a girl. I would lower for 3 seconds, hold for 3 seconds, 3 inches off the ground. Then I'd push up for 3 seconds, come down, hold for 3 seconds, then go to the next position. Now, but eventually I got off my knees. Eventually 3-second push-ups became 5, 5 became 10, 10 became sets of 10. So now my body's really starting to feel stronger. Like maybe I'm going to be able to get back in that ring. And what happened is I got on this Stairmaster. That's where I got my cardio from throughout my career. And I always would wear a heart monitor because you don't want to train too high, especially when you're doing any kind of cardio, especially when you're hurt. So I stayed right in my fat burning zone. Afterwards, I got on my mat. 20 minutes in, I'm doing those push-ups, and I see my heart rate is 140. Like, how's that possible? And then I realized that every time I flexed or engaged a muscle, your heart has to beat faster to get the blood to the muscle. Hence, I created a workout that was zero impact on your body. You will get the same results except for no impact. You'll get a kick-ass cardiovascular workout. So you talk about burning fat and, just conditioning your body. So zero impact, kick-ass cardio, dramatically increase your flexibility and your core strength conditioning. DDP yoga, his tagline, it ain't your mama's yoga, is, and it's just that laugh. That's why I do that. Not to defend yogis in any way, but it breaks down the walls for real guys or women who don't really like yoga because of what comes with it. So this is another form where you don't have to deal with any of that. But also, you'll never get a cardiovascular workout from the beginning to end like you will with DDP yoga, unless you're in a yoga class that's hot and all the bodies are in there. But if you're doing a DDP, you're not really going to get any cardio. You'll build some core strength. You'll definitely get the flexible, but you won't build the kind of core strength that you will with DDP yoga, and you won't get a kick-ass cardiovascular workout. It's really the only workout that does all three: strength, flexibility, and cardio.
Wow. So because of this stretching of the muscle, and you mentioned that in order to stretch, the heart has to supply more blood to the muscle for the stretching. And
right.
Slowly...
Well, it's stretching and flexing. This stretching doesn't do it. Stretching will give you some benefit, but nothing like stretching and flexing while you're doing it. I forgot the punchline of the whole thing. At 42, the doctor said my wrestling career was over. Less than 3 months later, I was back in the ring. At 43, I would get my first world title, oldest world champion ever. And I got that only because I created this workout.
Wow. It kind of take us back for a second before, just maybe for like 5 minutes, and we'll go back straight into the yoga. About coming to be a world wrestler, what is that experience like? Because it's taking you to two different, from where you are today and where you were yesterday. Kind of tell us what the journey, what it's like to be a wrestler.
Well, most guys start in their 20s, which is way smarter. Start in your late 20s or mid-30s like I did. That'll never happen again because everybody's geared so young to start now. It's like a secret society. It's tough to figure out. You got to, figure out where, who does what and how you get involved. And, I got lucky. The stars were aligned for me when I tried. I came in as a manager, and where I talked to wrestlers. Well, you didn't really manage them, but certain wrestlers can't talk, and they're great athletes, but they can't sell themselves. And it's all about how you sell yourself, that you get people to care, either really dislike you or really like you. And the key of getting people to dislike you is because people are part of the show when you're a professional wrestler. So it's much easier to get someone to dislike you than it is to get someone to like you. Mm-hmm. So 99.9% of the guys start off as heels or bad guys. And then as you go through it, the people actually turned me a good guy because I just had a crazy work ethic, obviously. And, they related to me on a bunch of different levels. And people started calling me, I was the original People's Champion before The Rock stole it from me, which was fine because he used it in a different way. And it was all, I didn't care. It didn't matter to me. But, when you're an 8-year-old kid watching wrestling and then you try it at 22 and it doesn't work out for you, and then you come back at 35 and then at 40 years old, you're on top of the world.
Yeah.
It's a dream come true. I mean, it's living the dream on so many different levels. And what Diamond Dallas Page, professional wrestler, has been able to do for me as far as making people aware of DDP Yoga, we got like 20 guys in the WWE doing my program. And one of them, one of the biggest stars, Chris Jericho, he came back from a herniated L4. Again, the doctor said he was done. He herniated his vertebrae. And he said, you're just not going to be able to come back from this without surgery. But within 5 weeks of doing my program, this is like, I know there's a lot of people listening to your show got bad backs. Mm-hmm. This workout, I developed DDP Yoga in the beginning for guys. Women love the workout too. So it became really, unisex. But, I developed it for guys who were beat up, from playing football or basketball or baseball in their high school years, maybe college. And then they just beat up their body over life. And now they feel, man, I can't do that. My body won't let me do that. Mm-hmm. Well, Chris Jericho was 85% pain-free in his back at 5 weeks. At 3 months, he was 95% pain-free. And the proof is in the pudding, so to speak, because Chris headlined at WrestleMania this year. And wow. He's got, and they're all the, if you look at the guys that he has doing it, some top stars in the world, because they see what Jericho's doing and they know their body's getting beat up. So how do you reverse that? And that's what DDP Yoga is all about. Not just helping people who are beat up, but also people who are overweight. Did you get a chance to look at the disabled veteran?
Yes, absolutely, I did. And it's amazing from where he came from. I mean, with a crutch, and all of a sudden, slowly, as the weight dropped, and I guess as he's flexing, as 100 and something, 177. And
he loses 130 pounds in 9 months. But more importantly, if you go to DDPYOGA.com, just pull up the video, the site. You'll see greatest transformation in fitness history. Matter of fact, Chris Jericho is right next to him because when Chris saw that video, he's like, Diamond, I'm in. Send me the program. Because I don't charge any of my guys who from the fitness from my wrestling life because I want them to be healed. Mm-hmm. And when he saw the video of Arthur, where he's got knee braces that strap into a back brace, and those wraparound canes are on your wrist, and he could not walk without them for 15 years. And then at the end of 9 months, he's not just lost 130 pounds. There's no braces. There's no back brace, knee brace, wraparound canes. There's nothing. It's just Arthur walking and then running. And his son documented that whole journey. So that was pretty special.
Yeah, I see that, from he's running, lost 130 pounds in 270 days from a walker. So it's amazing. Part of this, you think, is at a 33 waist, 39 chest, 166 pounds at the very end. And from the disability, of twice that size.
And the thing is, like, if you look at P90X or Insanity, which are two good workouts, but they're monster impact on your body. A guy like Arthur could never even come close to doing anything on that program.
Oh, no.
But, 9 months later, he could do anything. Now, if you look where P90X or Insanity, they've got amazing before and afters. Of course, most of the people are in shape to begin with, but then they get shredded in 60 days. They get shredded in 90 days. Where are they 6 months later? Where are they 9 months later? Where are they 6 years later? All I know is the guy who was walking on canes, who didn't need him 9 months later, 5.5 years later, he's stronger and in better shape than he's ever been. I work out the lifestyle. You can do it forever. You cannot do Insanity or P90X forever because you have to just beat the hell out of your body.
No. I mean, I have it sitting here like dust bunny like everybody else. Hey, it looks good, but when you try it is hard. It is really, really hard. Even some pros don't even do it. They say, oh, my gosh, it's hard for me. I do this all the time. But, you got to have a mindset really handling that, because if you get through it, you get through it, but not if you injure it. No, that's not for you.
No, you can't do any of that. And most people do get injured. And a lot of people get injured doing the workout. It's sort of like we've got that crazy show on. I love the inspirational part of Biggest Loser, but that they have those big obese people doing any kind of monster impact, and it's all impact what they do to them practically. That because they want the drama of the show. They're going to be so screwed up later, and for the older people, like I'm talking about months later. Stress fractures and, oh God, their hips and their knees and all of that. My workout, DDP Yoga. You go to DDPYOGA.com, you can see it all there. I don't even have to make testimony. Go to my testimony area and we'll look at some of those amazing transformations and see how many professional athletes I have doing it as well. Because they get beat up for a living, not just wrestlers, MMA guys, mixed martial artists, and professional football players. And I'm about to head into baseball and every sport because this is like, when you're flexible and strong, like what DDP Yoga does for you, makes you flexible and incredibly strong, the chance of you getting injured as a top athlete are way less. But the chance of you getting injured as a normal person, if you're doing my workout, well, that level of getting injured while you're doing anything, playing basketball or softball, whatever, way less. And that's the whole thing. Once you get over 30 years old, you don't train like as a basketball player or whatever athletic sports, soccer you're playing. You don't train those sports over 30 to stay in shape. You get in shape and be in your best shape you can be in so you can play those sports. And when you were a kid, it was different. But not once you get over 30, it's not.
Yeah, no, it's not. That stuff starts to hurt. Tell us about, kind of give us a summary of your sets. You got between 1 to 5 DVDs. You got level 1, beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Kind of tell us which each one normally covers.
Okay, so I start when people say, should I get level 1 or should I get the level 2 or the combo pack? And you can't do level 2 without doing level 1.
Okay.
So it's price structured, so it's the best deal is number 1. And I should say the combo pack, which is both of them. And I tell people, if you're serious, first I say, if you just want to try it out and give it a shot, just get level 1. It's not just going to give you, every one of them gives you a tutorial where I break down how to do the moves. Because I can't do this during the workout because it would take too long. So I break down doing the moves in every little nuance of the move. Then I say, okay, now you do it with me. Then I say, okay, here's what you just did. This way, it's like a tutorial of me being one-on-one with you. There's 13 of those moves. Then I take you into very simplistic workout. Every one of these workouts has a modifying position, something I never had when I was learning this. So I always have someone in a modifying position, and there might be 3 other people or another person doing it at its most challenging. And you figure out what works for you. I always say, one of these workouts that are a part of this DDP Yoga package are my YRG workouts. And I always say, make the YRG workout your own. Pay attention to your heart monitor. Don't overtrain. And that's what happens to so many people, they overtrain. So level 1 will give you a tutorial, plus it'll give you 5 workouts that range anywhere from 25 minutes. And if you know, you got the P90X thing there, that when he had you do yoga days, it was 90 minutes.
Oh, Lord.
I don't do any kind of yoga for 90 minutes unless I'm taking a class somewhere and just wanting to get with that teacher to see how good he is or she is. I work out for 10 hours, 15 max, but for the DVDs, it's 25 minutes. And everybody's, I don't have any time. You got 25 minutes.
Yeah, you got
right?
25 minutes.
So you pop the DVD in, you do the energy workout or the fat burner. And what's going to happen is the same thing that happens to so many people. You get addicted to it. Mm-hmm. Because what's happening when you're stretching and engaging muscles, you're forcing blood. Like I said, the heart's got to beat faster. When you force blood to the muscle, it oxidizes your body. So now it gives you energy. I got done working out with Josh Barnett, who's getting ready for his heavyweight fight for Strikeforce. It's on Showtime. And he's a bad dude. He's really, really tough fighter. And he's done every kind of training. Now, I took him more of a warrior level for my DDP Yoga. And but I only did it around a level 5 from what I do. He's dripping sweat. I didn't want him to go, wow, this is too hard. I wanted him to go, at the end, I feel amazing. So I wouldn't let him go over his heart rate, except for a couple times just to prove a point. But basically, I kept him right around his high end of the stop ring zone. At the end of an hour and 10-minute workout, he looks at me and he goes, dude, he goes, I thought I was going to be dead at the end of this thing. He goes, I want to go. I wish I had my kickboxing, ready to go right now, because he trains in so many different, mixed martial arts. And he was jacked up. When you loosened up and then strengthened up, and then your body has energized you by stretching and flexing and pushing and pulling, it opens up your low back. It just makes you feel amazing. So what I tell people, when you go to make the investment in yourself, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
If you get the level 1 and you just want to try it, that's a good start to stop. Good part. That's a good part to. I can't even get that out of me. That's a good stage to go in the beginning.
Okay.
If you just want to try it. But we also have a program guide that teaches you how to eat on 3 different levels. And I get into motivational things, how to set goals. I give you everything. I give you recipes. And then I turn you on to a site that we have called DDPYOGA.com. And that's the best damn support system on the planet. I mean, people there actually really care, and they help each other with their stuff. And I'm there all the time, and I answer anybody's questions who writes me. So I'm very excited.
Okay. Now, is the extreme is both combined, or is it taking it to a different level, like a third phase?
Yeah. Extreme is its own animal. And some people will get all of it, because they figure, let's get the shipping while it's cheaper here instead of having to order back again. But the extreme, I actually write on that page. If you're a couch potato, if you're not familiar with this workout, if you don't own Diamond Cutter or Double Black Diamond, 2 of my more challenging workouts, get off this page right now, because this page is for people who are looking for an extreme psycho workout. That's why I called it that. Mm-hmm. And it's an amazing workout, but you need to be conditioned and learn, how to turn on all those little muscles that you don't have on. Like, it's so familiar with being in a position and be lengthening and strengthening and just sit, in a static position, and you can see people and their sweat stripping off, and they're shaking, they're staying in one position. And I say, what's happening here when you're shaking is you're turning muscles on. And that's what this workout's all about, turning on muscles so that it strengthens you. Like I slid down this embankment the other day, like by accident. I was walking, all of a sudden rocks gave way. Now, if it would have been me before this workout, I would have fallen, torn something in my knee, screwed up my back. But my balance is so good now that I said, boom, 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 and I caught myself all the way down. My hand hit the ground, and I popped myself right back up at 56. Many guys who are 56 or 46 who fall like that, they're going to be in the hospital, but not me, because I train at a serious level. I say if you do DDP yoga, if you do it 3 days a week, it'll change the way you feel. And that's just 25 minutes a day, 3 days a week. If you do it 40 minutes, 4 days a week, it'll change your life. If you do it 5 days a week or more, and you build up to an hour a day, and that's really what people should do, then you own your life.
Wow.
You dictate how you're going to feel. And who cares how, we can live forever. I don't want to live forever when I see some of these people walking around with their walkers or their electric little Costco, because they're 60-something or early 70s, and they can't even walk around. I tell you, I do this thing, Tim, where I show people cold. I could be sitting there talking for an hour or whatever. I fold forward, put my forehead on my shin at any point in time. That's the flexibility I have that way. Then I'll immediately take either my left leg or my right leg while standing on the other and pick that foot over my head and have a conversation with them.
Now,
that's core strength.
Wow. Now, on your transformation page, you have celebrities, you have athlete tweets, and you have the military. List all the comments that they have in this workout. Anyone that really stands out that they really commented? I mean, of course, you mentioned Chris earlier, but within the either the professional athlete or the military person, anything that really stands out with you, they commented on? Yeah, what they commented on, how it helped them.
Well, more than anything, it could be back pain, knee pain, shoulder pain. One of the things that I really get into in this workout is how to break up scar tissue. And that's why, people, I can't squat any lower than this. That's because you got scar tissue built up there. It's not going to let you. So the moves that I'm doing, I show them how to modify them as you're getting into it. So the biggest thing I get back is no pain, no pain, no pain. Because I'm all over Twitter. And if you want to just go and see, and I know very few of these people. I've gotten to know some of them, but I know no one coming into this unless they're another athlete that knows me from somewhere. But if you go to @RealDDP, @RealDDP, or @DDPYOGA, you'll see some amazing comments about, I cannot believe how energized I am. I cannot believe how strong I'm getting, how flexible I'm getting. No pain, no back pain. I'm not a healer. You're doing the work. I'm just giving you a guide. And then people who really take the food part, what you put in your body with the workout, well, that guy Arthur Borman, he wasn't doing just calorie counting. He was doing what my phase 3 eating plan is about. But again, he wanted to walk again. That's a bold statement when a guy hasn't walked in 15 years and is morbidly obese. Wow.
Now, did you go to Afghanistan? I'm looking at your site real quick, and wow, that experience was like?
No, let's start with Iraq. I was there in 2003. Mm-hmm. That's 2 years after 9/11, and it was that was like the Wild Wild West out there. Wow. And I've been there 3 times in Iraq. The last time was a little bit easier because this thing started to calm down there at that period. Mm-hmm. But Afghanistan, that's a hole. I would go back for the troops because I do that, but you don't even want to go there. It's horrible, man. I feel so bad for those guys having to even be there. But I go there and it's like Mickey Mouse with tattoos. That's how I build myself because all these kids grew up watching me, and when they grow up watching you, and then you're there, it's a pretty big deal to them. I just don't do the pictures and and sign autographs. I do my workout with them. Wow. At the end of every session, it's every night by 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock, you can bet that I'm going to be in some gym in whether it's Bagram in Afghanistan or Kuwait. Not Kuwait. God, there's so many different FOBs that they have there. I was in the green zone. I was everywhere. Somewhere I will end up working out with the guys at the end of the night. And then we go kicking out there. I go there to kick their asses because I still show them how to modify because I know at some point they will have to. But I came there to kick their asses. It's not like I worked with someone, even top athletes. Here I don't want to push them too hard because I don't want them to think, God, I can't do that. I was just training with Bruce Miller, the fullback of the San Francisco 49ers. He's 24 and he's 6'3", 260. So he is this stud. Can bench 315 15 times. So we got into my workout, and now I'm going to take him right up to his threshold. And remember, I told you we did 3-second, 5-second, 10-second push-ups. Mm-hmm. Well, then we get to that 10-second push-up go home. Meaning we're going to go to failure. Well, normally I go to at least 6. Try doing 1 10-second push-up. Sometimes I'll do 7, other times I'll do 8. But with him, I was going to push him only to 6. And by that 4th one, he was on his knees. He was starting to quit. I go, don't quit, dude. Get on your knees because that's how we're going to get you to get 6 or 7 or 8. And my whole attitude with him or any other great athlete or regular person who's much younger, if I can do this at 56 years young, what could you do? What will you do? Now, Bruce, like I said, he's 30. I would say 24, 56, 24, 56. So, it's all about, just seeing that vision and knowing that this kid should be able to crush me. And eventually he will, because he's taking it really serious and he injured his knee, which is even, I wouldn't say better, but coming back, now he can rehab doing this workout and he's going to strengthen his legs at a whole different level.
Wow. So kind of tell us about how do you market yourself?
Oh, that's doing shows like this. Mm-hmm. Twitter is amazing. Twitter, I don't think I'd be doing as well as I'm doing right now because, like, when Chris Jericho gets done doing a workout, they'll say, "This guy, awesome DDP yoga workout, did strength builder and stand up, feel unstoppable. Like he'll put that on Twitter. Now all of his 500, 600, 700 people who follow him, a lot of people see that, and then when Santino does the same thing or, whatever. So, and then I answer, if someone asks me a question, has it to do with DDP yoga, anything to do with that, they can guarantee an answer back, because I'm on Twitter. I get on it once a day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. And so I always try to stay ahead of the curve. And people just put statements down. Most times I won't react to that. But they openly ask me a question. And it could be, where do you get the program? You tell them, go to DDPYOGA.com, DDPYOGA.com. It's all there. Some of the people say, well, what about, food plans? Do you have any diets? I go, I don't use the word diet. I'll ask you this, Tim. What's the first 3 letters of the word diet?
Die.
Right. So I don't use it. I say, don't diet, live it. And what I do is I put together eating plans so that, you could, at first level, it's just food. It's just literally calorie counting, exactly what Weight Watchers does. And people, they understand that. But, you should always watch your food consumption as far as your calorie intake if you're trying to lose weight. It's a given. Of course, people would rather take pills and starve their appetite. When you starve yourself, well, now here's what your body does. For anybody who's listening, I didn't eat today, or I didn't eat breakfast, I don't eat dinner. What happens after you can't lose the weight? The reason is because your body, we are the greatest survival system on the planet. Our bodies, we can survive just about anything until we're dead. And in this scenario, when your body feels like it's starving, the first thing it says to the fat, now this is your brain sending this, store the fat, burn the muscle. And it's harder to burn off fat than anything. So it stores it because you may not be eating for a couple of days. You might be eating for a couple of weeks. So it's going to store that fat. So you should always eat something, even if it's like, an apple for breakfast, some kind of fruit. Vegetables are, awesome. And so many people don't eat them. I know for the first 42 years of my life, I did. Mm-hmm. So I get that. But I also know as I've gotten older, I've gotten smarter. And when I want to, when I want to be feeling great, which is always, I want to make sure that I can, I just rolled with Henry Gracie, the Gracie family for jiu-jitsu. Mm-hmm. I took him through the workout yesterday. We met at WrestleMania because his girlfriend is Eve, the beautiful champion on the show. And she's a really nice person too. And we met at WrestleMania, and he's here in LA. So I went to his studio. Well, it was a studio. It was a dojo, and saw the whole thing. And we did our workout. We did some DDP yoga, and then he showed me some of his first 2 lessons that he would give. A newcomer coming in. I was like, wow, I love this. So I want to be feeling the best when I'm doing something like that. Start any kind of mixed martial arts, moves. I don't know anything about jiu-jitsu. I'm very green to that, and it's a really forgiving sport because you can do it and what they call rolling and not really overly exert yourself. And you don't have to go full speed to learn it, which is awesome. Like boxing, you do and you don't, but you got to be able to get hit with your boxer. When you're doing jiu-jitsu, you basically don't want to get hit. That's your goal. And you're just, you're rolling with another student so I want to be in the kind of shape that I need to be in for that. So my workout, again, complements that big time.
Wow. The last couple of things real quick, and during shows like this, you market yourself, and you have a lot of great graphics and website. You went and hired someone to be a website designer and took your pictures, and how did you orchestrate all of that together?
Well, I've had some really good people with me for quite a while now.
Okay.
And, this didn't just happen. It just got launched in December of 2011, but I had launched similar products before this. Mm-hmm. And you learn, you live and you learn. And like I said, the things that have really helped this out, to be, exploding the way it is, so many people talking about it right now. The main things are Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all these things. I put up different things like Do you know what superhero push-ups are?
No.
Okay. You lower the push-up all the way down. Now straighten your arms straight out in front of you like Superman.
Okay.
Now pick your hands up off the ground, your feet off the ground. Now, with straight arms, put your palms back down on the mat or the floor, curl your toes, and pick your body off the ground. Try that.
Wow.
I didn't start out doing that. I built my way and built up those muscles, and I did that on the extreme. On the extreme DVDs, I don't pick my hands and feet up. Mm-hmm. I just lower and pick myself up, which is very, very, very challenging. But after a while, I thought, can I pick my hands off the feet? And then pick my hands off the feet, pick my hands off the mat, my feet off the mat, and can I pick my core off? And I did. I got 5 of them. I was like, wow. Then I continued to start to train for that. Then I got 18 of them. Then I got 27 of them. And the other day, I film all this. So it's all up on my YouTube. The other day, I got 40 about a month ago. I got 40 of those. Mm-hmm. Try doing one. And I'm 56, and I beat the hell out of my body. There's a really interesting video on DDPYOGA.com that says how DDP overcame his injuries. And you can see what my back looks like and how effed up that back is. My neck tore both rotator cuffs in my shoulders, both meniscus in my knees, cartilage and ACL in one of them on top of that. So I've been torn up, beat up, but my whole life's been rehab. And right now, this whole time I've been talking to you, I've been doing a version of doing the entire workout while I've been talking to you.
Well, make every minute count. Okay.
Exactly.
And lastly, anything you would like to leave us with? And of course, give us your website address, and then anything last words you'd like to leave us with.
Well, like I said, if you want to make the investment in yourself, because that's really what it is. You know, you want to go to DDPYOGA.com. Like I said, I've got level 1, level 2. You don't want to get level 2 unless you've already done level 1. But the best bang for your buck is going to be the combo pack. And you'll not just get a tutorial, you'll also get the program guide, which I lay out everything for you. You know, all you have to do is do it. Mm-hmm. You know, you're going to get out of this workout what you put into it. But you also get a poster with all the Diamond Dozen, featured moves, so you can see them just like, oh, I see what he's saying here. So I lay that out. And you get Team DDP Yoga, which is the greatest support system on the planet. I help a lot of people do a lot of things on there, whether it's weight loss, help rehab their knees, their backs, whatever. And my whole thing is, if I help you, you help others. And there's another added feature that we've just added recently. And all these workouts, they come in an MP3 as well. So once you know the workout, you can go out to the park, you can go to the beach, you can go anywhere you want and do the workout. And so, because it's coming over your little iPod or whatever. And anybody who gets it right now gets a year subscription of Tap Out magazine and MMA Worldwide, which I do a lot of stuff with the mixed martial artists and stuff. So, they worked that program out with me. So they'll get digital copies of that. So it's a really good deal right now. And it's, you're going to get the most bang for your buck all the way around. 0 impact on your body, kick-ass cardio will dramatically increase your flexibility and your core strength conditioning. I don't know what more you could want from there.
Wow. Well, again, I really appreciate your time you took to come onto the program to talk about your product. Again, your website address is DDPYOGA.com?
Yep, DDPYOGA.com. It ain't no mama's yoga. Just watch the first 10 seconds on that when it comes up on my first video. Because I pretty much set the tone, for what this thing is all about. And I had this other woman who was 345 pounds, lost 185 pounds in 18 months. You got to see what she looks like. There's videos up there, their journeys, so people can see them. And right now we're putting together our infomercial, to get the word out there. So it'd be a bigger stage to rage, so to speak.
Perfect. Again, thank you for coming on the program. I really appreciate it. And we'll put this information out there and wish you the best. And hopefully we'll see an infomercial soon from you.
Thank you, buddy. You have a great day.
Okay.
Man.
Thank you for coming to the program. Thank you. Take care. Again, it's been another production of the Core Business Show with Tim Jacquet. This episode on iTunes on Blog Talk Radio Network. Everybody have a good day. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to the Core Business Show with Tim Jacquet. For more information about equipment financing and asset-based loans, visit our website, applecapitalgroup.com. That's applecapitalgroup.com. Or call us at 866-611-7457. We hope you'll join us for our next episode. And remember, you can always get to the core via iTunes. You'll find all our previous episodes there. And thanks again for listening to the Core Business Show with Tim Jacquet.